Excited to be on this entire call, this entire training tonight. We're going to be talking about so many different subjects, so many different things that's going to help, every single person here kind of get to the next level when it comes to going out there, building the business, whether it's trading or whether it's, going out there and really building any type of business. I think there's, certain laws and certain principles that are usually seen and usually respected. And, when you respect those laws and principles, they go into every single aspect of your entire life. You know what I mean? I'm a firm believer of like how you do anything is how you do everything. And real quick, before I kind of break everything down, I'm going to kind of tell you guys a little bit about myself and my story. So like I said, we're not complete strangers. So my name is John Guaman. I'm a 24-year-old now entrepreneur, just turned 24. And I've been involved in this industry of entrepreneurship. I would say I started entrepreneurship at 18 years old. And that was my first kind of like peak experience of entrepreneurship. My first time I was kind of exposed to it, before anything else. And it was crazy. I didn't really understand it. I just, obviously I knew both my parents, they didn't make that much money growing up. So I always made the decision. I was like, okay, I want to be wealthy. I want to be successful. I want to learn how to go out there and make it happen. But I just, like I said, didn't know anybody in my area that really had success, anybody in my community that made a lot of money. So I seeked out the information, and thankfully, guys, I've been able to acquire some of the information that is not even my information. It's information that has been passed down to me and passed down to my mentors from generations and generations of other different people, from the books that I've read, from everything that I've listened to all the people that I've followed, to my own experiences. I believe true-heartedly and cold-heartedly that all the success, is 100% due to the information that I've just come across, right? And the action that's just been taken. I believe that anything that separates anyone in life is all based off of, timing and information, how long you've been doing it and the information in between. So my biggest tip for some of you guys tuning in from Zoom, we have a couple people on IG Live. I kind of put it on IG Live real quick. Is to just make sure, like I said, take notes. I always say, right, note takers are money makers. Notes are a visual representation of all your hard work. But more importantly, you might not remember some of the things I'm going to be talking about tonight. So real quick, you want it, like I said, you'll only remember about 30 to 40% of the stuff that you actually write down, and about 9 to 5% of the stuff that you actually hear. So like I said, real quick, please take notes, and we're going to go straight in depth with it all. And we're going to talk a little bit about success. Okay. So let me break this entire thing down for you guys. Right? And we'll break the entire thing down. So I wanted to be successful. I wanted to learn how to become wealthy, but first we must understand, hey, listen, what is it that differentiates, wealthy people from unwealthy people? What makes the super wealthy and powerful? Okay. Or what makes the wealthy or sometimes just even wealthier? And what principles do poor people live by? So we have to really truly understand, okay, that 90% of your success, okay, about 90% will exist in the spiritual aspect of your success, and 10% will actually, come from the physical. Now, you're going to be asking, John, how does that even make sense? How is 90% of my success? I don't know where it is. Oh, it's in the car. So 90% of your success is going to come from the spiritual, and only 10% is actually come from the physical. Now, a lot of people are going to be looking at me crazy, like, yo, John, how does that even make sense? How is 90% of my success going to come from the spiritual, not come from the mental? That just doesn't make any fucking sense, okay? And I'm going to break this down to you real quick because I want you guys to truly understand that the millions come before you become a millionaire, okay? Before you go chairman 10 or before you go a chairman in a company, okay, the mindset comes before the chairman rank hits. Okay, before you go out there and clear 7 figures or make $1 million in anything, okay, the millionaire mindset, like I said, has to come. The 6-figure mindset has to come before the 6 figures come, before the millions come. Okay, and I'm going to break down some of the spiritual aspects of success that so many of us look, because I feel like so many people underestimate the power of the mind, when the reality is that the mind is the most powerful thing in the entire world if it's actually utilized correctly. Okay, but when it's underutilized, okay, when it's misdirect or given misrepresentation, that is when we lose the battle. Okay, so what I'm going to be talking about tonight, okay, like I said, is the spiritual aspect of your success, because I truly believe that every single person here, okay, is successful, but they need to follow the right type of tools in order to get there. So what we're going to talk about, like I said, is the spiritual side of success. So let me ask you, when I talk about the spiritual side, let's first talk a little bit about what is it that you're doing that you don't even know that is spiritual. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? Okay, what are you thinking? First, I'm going to ask you that. Next thing I'm going to ask you is, what are you hearing? What are you hearing? Next thing I'm going to ask you, okay, is what are you seeing? What are you seeing? What are you seeing? The next thing I'm going to ask you, what are you speaking? What are you speaking into existence? What are you speaking? And finally, what I'm going to be talking about is, what are you feeling? Okay? What are you feeling? All right? Now, the reality is that every single person in the world, okay, we all have 5 senses. We all have the power to think. We have the power to hear. We have all the power to see. We have the power to speak. We have the power to, to feel, speak, see, hear, and think. But all of this alters our reality, okay? All of this will alter the way that we, not just the way that we see things or feel things, but what we truly believe. Because all of this will affect what you are believing. So first off, I want to talk about thought, thinking, okay? There's a book out there called Think and Grow Rich, okay? There's a reason they say that you have to think your way to success, okay? It's not just, okay, imagining it, okay? It doesn't say work and get rich. It doesn't say go out there and envision and get rich. It doesn't say, okay, buy a course and get rich. It says think and grow rich. There's a reason the title of the book says Think and Grow Rich, okay? Because thought alone is one of the most powerful things in the entire world. And I feel like so many people overlook that, okay? The power of your thought. You guys understand that every single time you guys think, okay, as a man becomes in his heart, so is he. You are writing your own destiny through your own thoughts. I didn't understand this, okay? Law of attraction, it is a real thing, okay? We become what we think about most of the time, is what Earl Nightingale would talk about, okay? And Think and Grow Rich, a man is in his heart. A man is what he thinks about, okay? A man is what he thinks about. As a man is in his heart, so is he. What you truly think, what you truly believe that you deserve is what you are going to get out of life in general. You guys understand this real quick. Quantum physics, okay? Your thought, it emits a frequency. That frequency, okay, alters, okay? That frequency has a sense of, what is it? It's a thought. Your thought creates a frequency. That frequency is able to go out there and alter gravity. Gravity is the only thing in the world that can bend light, okay? Your frequency, that every thought that you guys go out there and think about, it's emitted as a frequency in the entire world. Okay, that's what I want you guys to truly understand. And you attract things through this entire frequency. Your brain is like a radio station. Every single time you think about something, you're admitting it, you're attracting it into your entire life, consciously or unconsciously. That's what I want most of you guys to actually think about, right? That's what I want most of you guys to think about. It's so funny. I got like people out here on Instagram, all right? But it is what it is. So what are you thinking? Okay, what are you thinking about most of the time? That's what I want you guys to think about. Okay, ask yourself the question, what am I thinking about? Okay, what am I thinking about? What am I hearing? So let's talk a little bit first. When we talk about thinking, okay, let's think about your success. What is your vision? Okay, what is your vision of the future? A lot of people, okay, when we talk about vision, they don't truly understand, what we mean by that, okay? Because the word vision is thrown around so many times. People are like, yeah, I have vision, dude. I know where I have a goal. I have an end destination, but it's more than just having a goal. Okay, I'm going to break down vision because it's such a powerful subject that so many people just don't fucking understand. Okay, but I'll break it down to you guys real quick. So vision, having a clear vision of the future. Okay, understand this. I always talk about goals, right? Your vision is like a goal. Not having, okay, an end goal or having a vision is like you hopping on a plane without an end destination on it. You're going to end up anywhere just in life in general. Imagine hopping on a plane without an end destination on it. It just doesn't make sense. You see what I'm saying? This is why most people, okay, I'm just being 100% honest with you, why 99% of people, okay, will literally end up the exact same place they were 5, 10, 20 years ago because they never had a true end goal, never had a true end vision. Okay, you see what I'm saying? Vision is something that is so powerful, less than 99% of the people actually understand that. Look at the statistic, guys. 79% of Americans will work paycheck to paycheck till the day that they die. That means 79% of people in America will work until the day that they die. 85% of people in America today have less than $500 in their bank account. 75% of Americans work paycheck to paycheck every single day. So if you look at those statistics, you'll see that most people, they don't have vision. You know, in the Bible, it says, if you lack vision, the people will perish. So why I like to talk about vision so much is just because it's so powerful. Okay, like it is so powerful to have because, you know, so many people, a lot of people need to borrow from the future in order to bring it into this reality. And I'll give you a prime example. The invention of an iPhone. The invention of an iPhone. Let's say this is the iPhone. My iPhone right now is on IG Live. But think about the technology of an iPhone. The technology of an iPhone has existed since the beginning of time. And I'll say that one more time. The technology of an iPhone has existed since the beginning of time. It isn't only as of recently where this technology has been able to go out there and be brought into reality. It isn't until the last 10 years where our level of understanding has been able to bring this technology into reality. But the technology of an iPhone has existed since the beginning of time for thousands and thousands of years. Human consciousness, okay, our level to comprehend and understand has only recently in the last 10 years been able to bring that iPhone into existence. I'll give you another prime example. The technology of a light bulb, the technology of being able to fly in an airplane has existed since the age of the dinosaurs. It hasn't been until as of recently, okay, in the last 100 years that we've been able to, 100 to 200 years, okay, that we've been able to increase our level of understanding and bring that into our reality. Somebody had to envision it. Somebody had to think about it. Somebody had to believe in the impossible. Okay, somebody had to believe in the impossible in order to bring it into reality. You see what I'm saying? Somebody had to believe in the impossible. The Wright brothers, okay, I think they flew like 15 planes before the 16th one finally lifted off. The Wright brothers would say, man will fly one day. We do not care, okay, if we have to sacrifice our own lives, but man will fly one day. Okay, the Wright brothers believed in the impossible. There was other people that had more money, more resources, more time, had more financial backing to go out there and create the plane. But the Wright brothers, they had a vision of the future, okay? They had a grand vision of the future. And I want you guys to ask yourself, what is your vision of the future? What is your vision? Is it enticing enough for you to go out there and chase it every single day? You see, I always say motivation pushes people, but inspiration, okay, pulls you to do anything that is necessary in order to obtain it. Okay, it has you operate at a completely different level and it creates miracles in your entire life. So what is your vision of the future? What is your inevitable, long-lasting vision of the future? And I truly believe that every single one of us, you know, on the call tonight, we all have different types of visions. We're all going to be thinking differently. We all want different things in our entire life, but what is your grand vision of the future? Okay, I want to ask you that question. And I think that's the beauty behind life, is that we all have the ability to go out there and have a long-lasting vision. Our vision is our choice, okay? Our vision is our choice. So what is your vision of the future? Put that down. What is your vision of the future, okay? What is that vision? And how it has to be enticing, okay? It could be traveling the world. It could be going out there and inspiring millions of people. It can be going out there and making millions of dollars. It can be going out there and retiring your parents. Check this out. I did this back in 2014 and 2016. I made a dream board of myself in 2015. I put everything that I wanted on that dream board. I put the watch that I wanted. I put the income that I wanted. I put the type of the planes that I wanted to ride on. I wanted to ride on a private jet. I put the income that I wanted to make. I put how much money I wanted to give back to my parents. I put everything down on that dream board. And you know, you want to know something that's crazy? 75% of everything I put down on that dream board back in 2014 came into reality. I got the watch that I wanted. I got the income that I wanted. I was able to give money back to my parents that I wanted. I got to travel the world like I wanted.
I got to speak in front of hundreds of people. I put that in my dream board back in 2014 when I was literally dead broke, only had $300 to my fucking name. Okay. And everybody was saying this shit is a scam. This shit's not going to work. You're going to go to jail. You're not going to finish college. You're a loser. Like whatever it was, I was like, dude, this is my vision of the future. It's not yours. Just because other people weren't gifted with your vision or they gave up on their vision doesn't mean that you have to give up on yours. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So have that grand vision, create that vision for you today. Because like I said, if you don't have the vision, it's not going to be brought into reality. Okay. And now check this out. Dreams exist in three realities. You have to write it down. The first one it's thought of, the second one it's written down, and the third one you're actually experiencing it. I'll say that one more time. Dreams exist in three realities. The first one it's thought of, the second one it's written down, and the third one it's brought into reality. So what you're going to want to do is once you think of this vision, you're going to want to write it down. 80% of goals and ideas and visions that are written down come into reality. Only 7% of goals that are written down will actually come into reality. So you automatically, okay, put your vision, put that goal into fruition and into the 80% the moment you write it down. Because I say it all the time, to go out there and make 50 to 60 grand a month. Okay, the hardest thing for me to do was to actually write it down and believe it. That was the hardest thing for me to do. The easiest thing was going out there and making it happen. That was the easiest fucking part. Writing it down, truly believing it, seeing it, feeling it, and visualizing it every single day and taking the daily methods of operation. That to me was the easiest part. The hardest part was believing in it. So I want you guys to understand, what is your vision of the future? Okay, do you have that depth of desire? Do you have that depth of vision? You have that desire. The last thing that I'm going to touch upon when it comes to vision, the last thing is the vision must outweigh, okay, what is currently happening in your reality. It must outweigh what is currently happening in your reality. Okay, you're going to go through trials, you're going to go through tribulations, you're going to go through adversities, okay? But all of this is just going to be trials and tribulations. You know, you're going to go through tests before a testimony is created out of you. Okay, in the word testimony, okay, the word test is in testimony. There's a reason for that. Okay, so they did a study, and I want you guys to understand that if you have vision today, you are gifted. You are participating in part of the 1% of the entire world. And I'm going to tell you guys why. Because more than 90% of people don't have vision. More than 90% of people, they did a study in the 1950s. And I'll give you a prime example of what happened in the 1950s. They did a study in the 1950s where they wanted to understand, okay, people's vision. If people had depth of vision, could they see far beyond what they were capable of seeing today? Some people are gifted with being able to see that. Okay, some people aren't. So they did a study, and they wanted to do the study with kids. They did not want to do the study with adults. Why? Because adults, you know, there's sometimes they go through failures. The average adult is told no 18,000 times, oh no, 20,000 times by the time he turns 18 years old. Okay, so they didn't want to do the study with adults because they felt like most adults were already negatively programmed. Most adults were already had been affected by their communities. So they wanted to do this study with children. So they did this study, and they wanted to figure out if these children had depth of vision. So there was a classroom of 50 kids. Okay, they had this classroom of 50 kids, and they wanted to ask every single children, okay, a question. So what they did was they were going to ask all 50 kids the same question. They got an acorn. Okay, they had an acorn in the room. Let's pretend this is an acorn right here. They had an acorn in the room, and they asked every single person with this acorn, let's pretend this is the acorn, what do you see? What do you see? To every single child in the room. And it was crazy because they asked every single child in the room, what do you see in this acorn? One of the children responded like, oh, I don't see anything. I see like, literally like, I see like something I can break. Another child in the room was like, yo, I see a playing toy, like threw the acorn across the room. Another child, when he saw the acorn, he was like, yo, like the acorn, like this just looks like, it looks like nothing. It looks like garbage. The other kid saw the acorn and was like, yo, it's just an acorn. It's whatever. He saw a toy. And it was crazy because as they went through all 49 students, all of them had similar answers. But 1 out of 50 of the final students, okay, that they did this experiment with, they gave him the acorn. They asked him, yo, what do you see? The child responded, I see a tree. The teacher was finally mind blown, was ecstatic. He's like, give me some details on the tree. What are the details? Give me more details on the tree that you see. He said, I see a large tree with like 20 different branches, all expanding, a healthy tree. All the leaves are green. I see the roots going super deep, and I see multiple acorns coming from this one acorn. And the teacher was amazed because this kid was gifted with the ability to go out there and have depth of vision. He was able to see far beyond what 49% or 49 other students in the class weren't able to see. Other students saw, you know, just a fucking acorn. Other people saw garbage. Other people saw a play toy. This child was able to see a tree from this one acorn. So then the teacher responded and said, hey, listen, you might see a tree, you know, like young gentlemen, but you know what I see? I see a forest. I see a massive, massive forest from this one acorn. I see a forest, and a forest so large that I can't see far beyond the miles and miles and miles of what this one acorn has done. And I see this forest being so big that trees are being cut down, right? They're being cut down so that way they can provide homes, okay, for people, because that's how big this one acorn is. Okay, the story is about depth of vision. Okay, the story is an analogy for our entire life. Okay, the kids saw the acorn as the seed that was planted, just like your life. Okay, every day in life, you guys come across things, okay, that are just like the acorn. They're seeds that you're planting in your entire life. Okay, I want you guys to understand that. They're seeds that you're planting in your entire life. So the acorn is an analogy for every call that you do, for every invite that you do, for every training that you hop on, for every trade that you get into. For every failure, it will spark the seed of success. It will spark the seed for something different. It's all based off your perception of it. Every single bit of it. The acorn is an analogy for our entire life. And how far beyond can we see what we currently see? See, I see 87 people on the call. I see 17 people on my Instagram live. I think it was like 25 people at one point. But I don't see 87 people. I don't just see 17 people on the call. I know that a movement can be sparked up by one person. All it takes is one person, one trade. It takes one call, one invite to completely blow up my entire business. I know that it takes one trade, one phone call, one training to completely shift the way that one person thinks. I want you guys to start thinking a lot bigger, a lot faster. Do you guys understand that the average person in the world will impact 10,000 people in their lifetime? There's a study out there that says that the average person in the world, whether you are an introvert or you are an extrovert, the average person will go out there and impact at least 10,000 people, will have an effect on 10,000 people in their lifetime. Your life means something, okay? When you were born, you won the literal genetic lottery, the 1 in 1 trillionth chance to literally live in this entire world. And on top of that, you will impact 10,000 other beings in this entire world, just from you being here and living here today. So understand how many lives you will impact if you are on this call tonight and you decide to pursue the ability to go out there and inspire people and impact people and do the exact same thing. You won't just impact, okay, from this one call, we could have the ability to impact not just 85 people on the call or 20 people on Instagram Live, which makes over 100 people, but we will impact over 100,000 people from this one call. You see what I'm saying? Right? That's how deep it goes. That's how the acorn works. When I was trading, when I was making money in college, okay, you can ask some of my college friends, when I was making $30 a day, my college friends didn't see it. They didn't see it. I was making $30 a day and I would show my friends, I'm like, yo, check this out. I'm making $30 a day trading. I'm not working for money. I'm making money work for me. My friends, bro, some of them were supportive, but some of them laughed at me. They literally laughed at me. They're like, bro, it's $30. I could have made more money going out there and working at fucking McDonald's. And you know what I said to them? I said, dude, it's $30 today, but in a couple months from now, it's going to be $300. And a couple months from now, it's going to be $3,000. And it all happened. It all happened. I used to look at my residual income. People would laugh at my residual income. I was only making like $2,000 a month. My own mother would make fun of me making $2,000 a month online. She didn't believe it. She wanted me to go to school, get good grades. My own mother said that you were wasting your time. I could make more money at McDonald's, go to school and go get a job, right? She said that to me. You are wasting your time. What are you doing with your entire life? And you know what was crazy? I'm like, Mom, it's not about the $2,000 today. It's about the $200,000 I'll be making next year. And guess what? That $2,000 added up. Those seeds that I planted that day, okay, grew, and then it started going into $5,000, $10,000, $50,000, and so on and so on. I want you guys to understand that. I want you guys to understand that the seeds that you plant today, you will sow one day. Regardless of whether they are positive seeds or negative seeds, you will sow. Whatever you sow, whatever you will reap. Whatever you sow, you will reap. The mind does not judge. The universe and God does not judge. We have the power of choice. Whatever we plant, just like into our mind is a garden. Whatever we plant in society in our entire life today, we will reap one day, whether it is positive or negative. Karma is a real thing. Whatever we plant, we will reap. So every single time you're doing a call, every single time you're doing a training, every single time you're doing an invite, I understood this. Every single time I was thinking positively, I was literally sowing different seeds for my future. I was sowing different seeds for my future. And I knew that it was going to take time, that I had to water the seeds. Okay, what do seeds need? They need nutrition. They need water. They need sunlight. They need oxygen. That is symbolic for what you need to do every single day to go out there and achieve whatever it is that you want in your entire life, right? The water is symbolic of your daily methods of operation. The sunlight is symbolic of your attitude, right? The nutrition, nutrients is symbolic of your personal development that you do every single day. The calls that you're on, the books that you're reading, right? I want you guys to understand that you will sow what you reap. And this is why vision is so powerful. Some people naturally are gifted with depth of vision. Some of us aren't. And I'll just be 100% honest with you. Okay? Was I naturally gifted? No, I wasn't. I had to learn this. I had maybe a little bit of vision. Like when I saw making $5,000 a month, I was like, okay, I can see $5,000 a month, but I can't see $20,000 a month yet. At 18 years old, I couldn't see that yet. That's why I couldn't attain it. I didn't have enough depth of vision. So you need to think a lot bigger, a lot faster. You need to have the depth of vision. You need to look far beyond where it is that you are today, okay? Because where it is that you are today doesn't matter. All that matters is where you're going, right? Do not allow the stuff that is going on in your life today to dictate, okay, where you're headed or where you're going in this entire world, because it is a small piece of the larger puzzle that you are a creator for. Okay, that's what I want you guys to understand. When I talk about vision, it's not just, okay, think about a goal. It's literally, what future are you living in today that you are bringing into this reality? What future do you want to bring into this reality? Because the future that I had created for myself 4 years ago, it all came true. And I can tell you that 75 to 80% of it all came true, right? So that's what I want to talk about with thinking your way, okay? All right, if you guys are getting value tonight, drop some 777s in the chat. If you guys are getting value tonight, drop some 777s in the chat if you guys are getting value tonight. If you're getting value tonight on Instagram Live, drop some 777s if you guys are getting value. Drop some 777s if you guys want me to continue to write some stuff, all right? Drop some 777s. All right, cool. So now let's focus on the next thing. So we're first talking about thinking, right? Thinking and vision. Now that you have, you've gone out there and you have the vision, you have the idea of whatever it is that you want. You need to practice the emotion of that every single day. Okay. So we're first going to be talking about, what are you thinking every single day? That's the first side of spirituality, thinking and seeing. Okay. Then hearing, what are you hearing every single day? Okay. Do you guys understand they came out with a study in music that 70% of our entire reality is created by the music that we listen to. 70% of our entire reality is literally produced by the music we listen to. Music emits frequencies. It dictates our entire reality. So let me ask you guys a question. What are you listening to today? What are you listening to today? Is that uplifting? Okay. Is it inspiring you, or is it demonetizing you? Okay. You got to ask yourself that question. You see what I'm saying? Like, who are you listening to? Who are you listening to? What are you hearing every single day? Don't get me wrong. I love music. I'm wearing literally an OVO shirt right now. It's so funny. I love music, but at the end of the day, I want to invest more into myself than I do into the music industry. Okay. That's just the truth of the matter. And you want to do that too. You want to invest way more into yourself than you do the music industry, guys. Okay? There's a fly. So who are you listening to? When I would listen to music, I would listen to 30 minutes of, you know, audios, and then I would listen to 30 minutes of like Drake, 30 minutes of like, yo, Roddy Ricch. I would listen to 30 minutes of maybe Pop Smoke or something. All right, whatever you guys are listening to. Okay, I would listen first to 30 minutes and invest into you before you invest into anybody else. Okay, I remember I would have 1 hour car rides and I would literally listen to the people that had what it was that I wanted. Okay, Jim Rohn, Robert Kiyosaki. Okay, they're all successful people. Grant Cardone, go look up Gary Vee. They're all successful people. Get around successful people. The thing that affects your entire reality is the content and community. Okay, if you don't have the community around you right now, there's an online community. Okay, if you right now have terrible content in your entire world, that's creating your reality. Get rid of the negative content. Throw out the negative content. I'll just be 100% honest with you. Throw out the fucking media, dude. I haven't watched the news in over probably 5 years, 5 to 6 years. I haven't watched the news. Why? Because it's all propaganda. They're all trying to sell you. They're all trying to tell you what to think, what to believe. The television, there's a reason why there's vision in the word television. It's telling you a vision. It is selling you on their vision of the future. So what are you hearing? Okay, what are you hearing? Get rid of the negativity. Only operate and hear to high vibrational frequencies, high vibrational sounds. Okay, check this out. You guys know, look this up after this. 532 hertz. 532 hertz and 432 hertz. These are known as the God miracle hertz. Okay, back in Egyptian times, shout out to Isaac because he made a video about this. In Egyptian times, what they would do in Egyptian times to heal their warriors after war was they would put them in a room filled with music of emitting a certain frequency. That frequency would be the God frequency of 532 hertz. They would do this, and warriors after war would psychologically get better just from frequency. Because check this out, we're all a frequency. Right? When I'm talking about thinking, when I'm talking about hearing, we're frequency. I am a frequency. Color is a frequency. Atoms move back and forth. We're all frequency, dude. Albert Einstein talked about frequency. It's all the same thing. There's a reason why everybody says the same thing. So what are you hearing every single day? Last thing, next thing. Okay, number 3, what are you seeing? What are you seeing out of your future? Okay, so this I talked already a lot about. Okay, about vision of the future. Okay, while one man sees the glass half empty, another man will see the glass half full. Okay, and that's all due to your perception. To go back on frequency with what I was talking about earlier, right? Everything in life is a frequency, right? You have a lower frequency over here and the higher frequency right here. Albert Einstein, go look this up. He talked about it on his quote. Albert Einstein, he talks about quantum physics. Albert Einstein said, if you match the level of vibration of frequency of whatever it is that you want, what you want cannot help but make it into your reality. And I'll say that one more time. Albert Einstein used to always say, if you match the level of vibration of frequency of whatever it is that you want, what you want cannot help but make it into your reality. Okay? I'll say it one more time because it sounds like a lot. Okay? If you match the level of vibration of the frequency, okay, of whatever you want, what you want cannot help but make it into your reality. Okay, so what that means is, let's say the frequency to go 7 figures to become a millionaire is right here. Okay, because millionaires operate at a different frequency. Okay, if the frequency is right here, all you have to do, okay, is match that frequency. If your frequency is down here, you have to increase your frequency. You guys understand human beings operate at a frequency of like 700 hertz. When a human being dies, it's because their frequency lowers to over 400 hertz. So if you increase your frequency, you're going to match that $1 million mark. You're going to match that $1 million level. And how do you do that? Before you become the millionaire, the millions have to come. You walk like a millionaire. You talk like a millionaire. You have the disciplines of a millionaire. You think like a millionaire. You speak like a millionaire. Okay? You have the daily methods of operation as a millionaire. You have the confidence of a millionaire. You smell like a millionaire. What is your ideal viewpoint of who you are and your self-image? Because your self-image dictates your whole reality. What is your self-image today? And I will dictate your future. You tell me what you believe you are, and I'll tell you everything. Okay? So our frequency is emitted by our self-image, who we truly believe we can be. Right? So go out there and, like I said, higher frequency. What are you seeing on a day-to-day basis? Look at your goals every single day. Look at your goals every single fucking day. Shout out to David and Monique. He's a mentor of mine. David would always say, I never go out there and actually ask people if they're working or not. If I wanted to see if they were working or not, I could just go out there and check the back office. I can tell whether someone's working or not. I don't need to know that. But what I can do, this is what David used to say, he's like, but what I call people up is to see if they're looking at their goals every single day. Because if they were looking at their goals every single day, they would be working, right? They'd be working. So what are you seeing on a day-to-day basis? What are you seeing? Are you seeing your goals? Are you seeing success? Okay, are you seeing all that come into fruition? Because if you're not, then it's not going to come into reality. The next thing I'm going to talk about is what are you speaking into existence? What are you speaking into existence? Okay, I remember I used to literally spaz on my fucking leaders, and I do it out of love. Not, I do it out of love because I want to see them win so bad. But I love some of my leaders, but I would yell, like I would spaz on people sometimes because they would come to me about the problems. They would come to me about what's going wrong. They would victimize themselves about what's happening in their society. I'm losing momentum. It's this person's fault. This thing happened in my life. This thing, bro, the market doesn't care. The market does not care. Like Gary Vee, the market does not care. Your problems is irrelevant to anything in the entire world. It will not, if it doesn't matter in if it won't matter in 5 years, why would you spend 5 minutes on it? What are you speaking into existence? What are you saying into existence? I remember people would be so negative about the retracements in their business. I'd be like, I'll never have momentum again. I'm like, why the fuck would you speak that into existence? Your words cast spells. And the word spelling is the word spell. Okay, every single word, every single thing that you speak out to the world, okay, it is brought into reality. It is brought into our reality. So speak things positively into existence, never negatively, okay? Never negatively. I would never victimize myself intentionally. I would never do that. I would never forcefully be negative intentionally because everything that I speak, it's like the plant it's like the seed that you plant, you will sow one day. You're sowing all of that into your reality, okay? And the last thing is, what are you feeling? What are you feeling? Okay, what are you feeling? Are you feeling, okay, negative? Are you feeling down, or are you feeling, on a high vibration? Are you feeling great about yourself? Okay, this is a very big thing because the reality is people ask me all the time, how can I feel better? How can I feel better, John? I just don't feel good. Trust me, we've all dealt with negative times. Life is a roller coaster. You're going to have super high highs and you're going to have super low lows. Okay, that's just the truth of the matter. That's the reality of our entire life. Okay, but people ask me all the time, how do I feel a little bit better? Understand that your feeling is a direct correlation of what you're thinking, what you're hearing, what you're seeing, and what you're speaking into existence. Okay, it's a domino effect. They all affect one another. So people ask me all the time, how can I feel better? Okay, you need to alter and be very self-aware of what you're thinking every day, what you're hearing every day, what you're seeing every day, and what you are speaking every single day. That's how you're going to affect how you're feeling every single day. Because your feeling will dictate your reality. It will dictate your beliefs. Will dictate your belief system. In order to feel better, you have to speak better. You have to see things a little bit more clear, better. You have to hear better things. You have to think better things, okay, in order to feel better in your entire life. So feeling, what are you feeling, okay, will dictate your entire success, okay? What you're feeling every single day. If you ever feel low, trust me, guys, to this day, man, okay, I surround myself with positive affirmations, all that entire thing. But let me be 100% honest with you. I have my down days. I feel bad. After grinding for 10 hours straight, I feel like shit sometimes. I'll go sip on some wine, or I'll go to the gym to go knock things out. I'll go on a run, okay, to sweat some of the stress out. I'll go do something that makes me feel a little bit better. Okay, figure that out too. Figure out what gets you in that happy place and get yourself in that environment. For me, that's working out. For me, that's hitting the gyms, hitting the weights. Okay, for me, that's going out there and getting on a run. For me, that might be going out there and just having some alone time to reflect about what's going on in my entire life. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I want you guys to understand all this right here. All of this right here is your spiritual side of success. This dictates your reality, because all of this right here boils down to one single thing. All of this boils down to one single thing. And that is, right? What are you believing? What are you believing? I don't even think I spelled belief right, but what are you believing? You know what I mean? What are you believing? What are you believing every single day? That is all altered by the things that we see, the things that we think, the things that we speak, things that we hear, and the things that we feel on a day-to-day basis. Okay? Man becomes what he thinks about most of the time. Right? So what are you believing? What is your self-image of the future? Do you have a high self-image for who you are, or do you knock your own self down? Man is his greatest cheerleader and his greatest enemy. So we have to understand that. We have to get the mind on our side, because the mind sometimes isn't on our side. Our minds are so powerful, man. It's so powerful that they can be used for us if we control it, or they can control us and be used against us. Okay, fight or flight responses. Okay, all this different stuff. Sometimes people are very they're not as emotionally intelligent as they could be. Okay, they make emotional decisions instead of going out there and taking a logical stance on all of it. Human beings, we're not perfect. We're not perfect. We are not the most perfect human beings in the world. We're not robots. You know, a robot can respond in the best objective way possible, but human beings can't, right? But what we can do is focus on being a better version of who we are every single day. Okay, law of income, law of compensation. Okay, where value is, where growth is, money is just energy. Where value and growth is, money will always follow. Okay, so as you're in this journey of growth, as you're in this journey of being a better version of who you are, as you're becoming more valuable and your belief level is going up, so will your income. So will your income. If you came on the call tonight and you wanted me to give you the secret sauce to go make $1 million, this is the secret sauce. Okay, I invested more than a year trying to understand my own psychology, trying to understand why was it that my parents, okay, who I love my mom and dad to death, don't get me wrong, but they would work from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. And at the end of the day, they would work their ass off, but they were still sometimes living paycheck to paycheck. I wanted to understand what was the difference. What was the difference maker between somebody going out there and living an average lifestyle and above average lifestyle? And it wasn't the work ethic. Okay, it wasn't, they had a secret sauce. Maybe some of them did. Okay, they had a better system, but the reality is it all boiled down to their belief system. Their belief system. How big can you believe? Okay, how big and how much faster can you guys believe? No one can out-believe, okay, another person. David Amanitia, shout out to him, because I remember studying belief for quite a while. There's an audio out there called The Magic of Believing, but he used to say that he used to go up to his mentors, right, in the industry, and he would ask his mentors, he would ask them, you know, what is it? What's the difference between you? How are you making millions of dollars? And all the guys in your business, they're saying the same things. They're doing the exact same things. They're saying they're operating in the same way. They're dressing the same way. They look just like you, David. Why? No, just like you, Holton. Why are you making millions and these guys are just barely making six figures? What's the difference maker? And Holton said to David, right, he said, it's not that they don't dress like me. It's not like they don't speak like me. It's not that they don't look like me. It's that they can't believe like me. He said, David, nobody can outbelieve me. And that's why I'm making the millions and these guys are just making six figures. And I'm trying to uplift their belief system, but it's going to take work, right? It's going to take work. No one can believe like I can believe. David, if you could believe like I could believe, then you'd be here too. Focus on your belief. So I encourage every single person today to go listen to The Magic of Believing, right? Go listen to The Magic of Believing, because just understand, as simple as you can be, everything boils down to your belief system. Why am I doing this call today? I want to increase your belief system. Okay, guess what? In my team, I'm probably one of the only ones making like a certain amount of money every single month. It's not cool. I want to see my team making six figures. Okay, at a certain amount of income, you can go look this up. You don't get any happier after 30K a month. There's an actual study that states that you don't get any happier after you make over $30,000 a month. that at that point in time, it's all, the only thing that'll make you happy is other people's success. I get high off of other people's success. Dude, when I saw people on my team go chairman 10, I got more excited about them going chairman 10 than I went chairman 10. True story. When I went chairman 10, I was like, okay, I felt like I was already here a year ago. I'm like, okay, I'm finally chairman 10. What's next? But when I see somebody on my team go chairman 10, when I see someone on my team go 6 figures, it blows my mind away. So that's why I wanted to share with you guys. And I wanted you guys to understand that it is all spiritual, that it is all spiritual. Last 10 minutes I'm going to give to you guys, last 7 minutes. Last thing I want you guys to understand is that this is your mind. This is you. Bob Proctor, right? This is you. Okay. This is your subconscious mind and this is your conscious mind. And I want you guys to understand that the subconscious mind is the most powerful thing in the world. Okay. It dictates about 90% of who you are. Only 10% of who you are is actually conscious. Everything that you do is all based off the subconscious mind. So I want you guys to understand that, okay? The subconscious mind, okay? This is created by the time that you're 3 to 7. From ages 3 to 7 years old, you are being programmed like a computer. And guess what? 86% of the world resonates with negativity. The average 18-year-old is told no 18,000 times, 20,000 times by the time he turns 18 years old. Why do you think the world is negative? Why do you think there's so much hate in the world? Why do you think there's so much war in the world? Why do you think there's so much of that in the world? It's because it's programmed in every single one of us. Abused becomes the abuser. When people hate on other people, it's because they've been hated their entire life. They're projecting out of their own fear, out of their own hate. So you got to understand that the subconscious mind, 3 to 7, think about what we've been implanted. If 86% of the world is resonating with negativity, you know, we have some positivity over here, but we've been sold scarcity, okay? We've been sold negativity. We've been sold that we're not enough, okay? We've been sold that we need more, okay? When I was a little kid, my mom used to always yell at me because I would not eat all my food. She said, eat all your food. We don't have enough food in order for you to go out there and fucking waste money. My mom would always say, you have to turn off the lights. We don't have enough money for lights. Okay, my mom, I'm not even kidding. This is a true story. When I was 4 years old, I think I was 5 years old, my mom, let me put this right here. Nick, not enough. Okay. So my mom, when we were kids, I was 5 years old and I had an asthma attack and we were so poor that my mom could not afford the hospital bill to go to the fucking hospital and actually like help me with my asthma attack. That whole night, it was so crazy. I could have died from an asthma attack. I literally could have died from an asthma attack. But my mom said we did not have enough money, right? So we're always taught to go out there. I realized that the day after they told you, listen, your son could have died of an asthma attack yesterday. It was actually super bad, etc. Then my mom started taking it a lot more serious, but we never had enough. So we're all taught, same thing, 86% of the world, we're all taught that we don't have enough. Okay. And by the time of age 7 years old, okay, this thing closes right here. The subconscious mind closes. The subconscious mind closes. Your personality is created. That is when you're created. You are told, you tell people, hey, listen, you made the story up in your mind of whether you're going to be an introvert or an extrovert. You've already made up the story at age 7 if you're going to be confident or unconfident. You've already made up the story for yourself of whether you're going to be wealthy or not going to be wealthy. You have a certain already genetic destiny that's written out for yourself on whether you're going to be, okay, big, fat, skinny, whatever you believe, that will become a self-fulfilling prophecy, okay? And now let's say 15 years later, when you're 20 years old, and you're 25 years old or 30 years old and you're trying to change your whole fucking life, okay, you are fighting the battles, okay, you are fighting the belief systems of 15 years ago still. You are fighting the belief systems of 20 years ago, okay, when your mom said that you weren't enough, okay, you needed to look a certain way or be a certain way, or it suppressed all your ideas and belief systems because of that reason, okay? So what I'm saying to you guys today is that the conscious mind, okay, it only operates 10% of our world. Right? So we want to be positive. We want to be wealthy. We want to have these wealth affirmations. Okay, we'll hop on the training so we can affect the conscious mind. But the only real change will come from the subconscious mind. The only real change will come from the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind will alter the conscious mind, which will alter the body. And the body, that right there, will affect your results. That will affect your results. You want more results? okay? Take more action. If you want more action, you need to affect your conscious mind, or you need to go out there and, well, alter your subconscious mind. So how do you do that? There's only 2 ways to alter the subconscious mind. This is the last thing I'm going to talk about today. Okay? There's only 2 real ways to alter the subconscious mind. There's only 2 real ways. Okay? Through repetition and an emotional experience. There's only 2 ways to alter your subconscious mind: through repetition or an emotional experience. So when I tell people to hop on the calls, when I tell people to hop on the trainings, when we tell you to read the books, we're not saying that shit to hurt you guys. We're not saying that to just say that, okay? I truly am saying that because it's altering your subconscious mind. You are eliminating every negative program that was programmed into you, which is the reason why you are where you are today, okay? Which might be the reason why you believe you're not enough. Might be the reason why you believe you don't believe you shouldn't have wealth. Might be the reason why you think that the world is all against you, okay? It's negative programming. It's programming, okay? And you do that through repetition and an emotional response. Why do you think we tell people to go to the events, the London convention? Why do you think we tell people, Tony Robbins? I remember I paid $2,000 to go sit at a Tony Robbins event. Most people won't even fucking pay $100 to go invest in their future. I paid $2,000 to sit down and listen from Tony Robbins at one of his events. Tony Robbins, 50% of the entire event, he was trying to move our emotion, our biological programming. He was trying to alter our programming. So he would have us move. He would have us jump up and down. He would have us literally do jumping jacks. He would have us hugging each other. Tony Robbins would have us moving so we could eliminate the negative programming that had been stuck in our head through an emotional experience, an emotional response, through biological programming, right? So an emotional experience, get emotional, okay? Get emotional with, okay, what's going on in your life, okay? Have a sit down. I've had multiple experiences where I've sat down by myself alone and I re-looked at my entire goals. I re-looked at my entire life and I said, hey, I need to make a difference. I need to make a change. You could do that by yourself, or you could go do that at a big event. Obviously, we're in quarantine today, okay? We're at quarantine. We can't do that. We don't have a big event or whatever, but you can do that on a Zoom call. You can do that on a Zoom call. You can make this Zoom call be the Zoom call that goes out there and makes the decision to really reflect on your entire life and go out there and be different. This could be the Zoom call today that I encourage could help you become wealthy. Who knows? I don't know. I hope that this Zoom call inspired at least one person that didn't believe they were enough to at least believe, hey, listen, I'm enough today, right? And that's the last and final thing that I want you guys to understand, okay? To understand. So I appreciate you guys for hopping on this entire call, right? Like I said, it all exists in the spiritual, okay? Study the spiritual side of success just as much as you study the physical side. Trust me, okay? I study the physical side, but I also study the spiritual side. I studied the spiritual side for a long time before I studied the physical side. So like I said, there's always balance, okay? Because the reality is you can't just think and grow rich. You have to take action, okay? 3 days of massive action outweigh 3 months of knowledge and information, okay? So I appreciate every single one of you guys. I am late for a call, okay? I literally said I was late for a call. Kevin, I'm about to hop on your call right now. Send me the link. But I appreciate you guys, and I hope to talk to every single one of you guys soon, right? Drop some fire emojis in the chat room that you're in. Drop some fire emojis in the chat room, guys. If in your chat rooms, if you got value tonight, drop some fire emojis in the chat rooms if you got value. And I appreciate every single one of you guys. Hope to talk to y'all soon. Peace.